Imagine living in a country where the worst thing you can do isn't breaking a rule or being a little weird, but simply disturbing the peace around you for a few seconds. Not yelling, not fighting, just being a tiny bit too much in public. Now imagine every person around you is silently watching, not your face, not your clothes, but the impact your actions have on everyone else. The noise you make, the space you take, the mood you create. That's daily life in Japan. For many foreigners, Japan feels like a dream at first. Super clean streets, trains that arrive exactly on time, low crime, polite people, and this almost magical sense of order. But behind all of that, there's one powerful habit built deep into the culture, and a lot of foreigners absolutely hate it. Some call it fake, some call it exhausting, some feel like it's emotional prison. In this video, we're going to talk about that one habit, the habit that shapes how people talk, walk, work, and even exist in public in Japan. The habit that makes Japan feel incredibly peaceful, but also incredibly suffocating if you didn't grow up with it. And by the end, I want you to ask yourself honestly, would you accept this if you lived in Japan? Or would it slowly drive you crazy? So what is this habit? In Japanese society, there's a rule that sits quietly behind almost everything. You must not cause meiwaku to others. Meiwaku wo kakenai. In simple English, it means don't be a burden, don't cause trouble, don't inconvenience anyone. Not your friends, not your coworkers, not your neighbors, not even strangers you will never see again. On paper, that sounds reasonable, right? Don't be annoying, be considerate. Most cultures teach that. But in Japan, this isn't just about being polite. It becomes a way of living. You constantly adjust your behavior to avoid disturbing the group. You shrink your presence in public spaces. You edit your words. You hold back your emotions. You say less, do less, take up less space, all for the comfort of the people around you. And that's the habit many foreigners refuse to accept, living your life constantly shaped around not inconveniencing anyone else. Let's start with a place almost every foreigner experiences, the train. If you've been on a Japanese train, you know the feeling. It's quiet, almost too quiet. People are scrolling on their phones. Some are half asleep. No one is blasting music. No one is having loud conversations on speakerphone. No one is yelling into a call. The train is full, but it feels controlled, contained. Now imagine a foreigner who just arrived. They're with a friend, talking in a normal voice, laughing a bit, maybe reacting to something funny on their phone. Where they come from, this is totally normal. But in that silent train, their voice suddenly fills the whole space. And here's what happens next. People start glancing over, not glaring, just quick looks. The energy shifts. It's subtle, but you can feel it. For many Japanese people, that conversation isn't cute or friendly. It's meiwaku. It's disturbing the quiet that everyone silently agreed to protect. So what do locals do? They automatically lower their voices, they avoid long calls, they turn the sound off on games and videos, they tuck in their bags to take up less room. They stand or sit in a way that keeps paths open. No one told them directly that they must do this. It's just understood. But for many foreigners, this feels intense. They think, I'm not shouting, I'm not hurting anyone. Why is everyone acting like I'm doing something wrong? In their culture, the train is a public space where people live their lives. Chat, joke, be human. In Japan, the train is more like a moving library. You exist there, but you try to fade into the background as much as possible. Same behavior, different country, totally different meaning. Now take that same habit and move it into the workplace. That's where many foreigners really start to struggle. In a typical Japanese office, there's a strong focus on the group, not just the individual. People don't only think, did I finish my tasks? They're thinking, is the team okay? Does anyone need help? Will my leaving early make someone else stay late? This is where that no inconvenience habit becomes very real. You may notice people staying in the office long after their official work is done. Some of them are still working, but some are just there, checking things, tidying up, pretending to be busy, waiting for the boss or the senior staff to leave first. To a lot of foreigners, this feels insane. They say, I finished my job. Why should I sit here just to look like I'm working? For them, time is personal. Work-life balance is important. If the clock says you're done, you're done. But in Japan, going home first can feel like you're dumping your presence onto others. It can be read as, My time matters more than the team, or I'm done. Good luck to the rest of you. No one will usually say that directly to your face, but the social pressure is there. So people stay. They sacrifice their evening, their rest, sometimes their health, in order not to be the one who causes meiwaku to their coworkers. That's the same habit again, shaping your choices around not becoming a burden to others. Now let's look at something that really bothers many foreigners: communication. In many Western cultures, being direct is respected. Saying no clearly is seen as honest and efficient. If you don't like something, you say it. If you disagree, you say it. Simple. In Japan, this directness can feel like a slap in the face. People tend to communicate gently, indirectly, and in layers. Instead of saying, "No, I don't want to go," someone might say, "Maybe next time," or "That might be a little difficult," or "I'll think about it." Instead of saying you're wrong, they might say, "I see your point, but perhaps another way could be." Why? Because a direct no or "you're wrong" can embarrass someone, create tension, or break the harmony. It causes emotional meiwaku, so people bend their words to soften the impact. They protect the other person's feelings, sometimes at the cost of clarity. Foreigners often react strongly to this. They say, "Why can't people just say what they mean?" They feel like they're constantly decoding hidden messages. They may feel lied to or manipulated or just tired of guessing. But from the Japanese perspective, the foreigner can seem harsh, too blunt, too sharp. Someone who is willing to cause emotional discomfort just to deliver the truth quickly. To them, that's also a form of meiwaku. Then there's everyday life at home. In many countries, if you pay rent, you feel like you can live however you want, within reason. Maybe you walk around, play some music, talk loudly, laugh, watch TV. As long as you're not throwing a party at 3 in the morning, you feel fine. In Japan, apartment life comes with an invisible contract. Keep things as quiet and unobtrusive as possible. Don't stomp, don't vacuum late, don't let kids run wild inside. Don't practice loud instruments. Even small noises can feel like meiwaku to your neighbors. People might apologize with small gifts when they move in, when there's construction noise, or when they think they might have bothered someone. Again, no one hands you a rule book that explains this. You're just expected to sense it. Foreigners often say, "I'm not doing anything crazy. Why is there a complaint about footsteps, or a TV, or my kids playing?" They feel like they're walking on eggshells in their own home. Over time, if you're not used to this way of thinking, this constant pressure builds up. You start to feel like you're always being watched, even when no one is looking. You second-guess your voice, your laugh, your actions. You may even begin to feel guilty for just existing in a normal way. This is where many foreigners hit their limit. They don't mind being polite, they don't mind being respectful, but the idea of constantly shrinking themselves for everyone else, that's the habit they can't accept. And to be fair, this habit has a dark side for Japanese people too. When you're always avoiding meiwaku, it becomes hard to say no, even when you really want to. Hard to ask for help, even when you desperately need it. Hard to admit you're struggling at work, or mentally exhausted, or burned out. You don't want to trouble your friends with your problems. You don't want to trouble your family with your stress. You don't want to trouble your boss by saying the workload is too heavy. So you keep it inside. Smile outside, collapse inside. This is one reason why Japan can feel incredibly peaceful on the surface, but many people secretly feel lonely or pressured underneath. Harmony is protected, but at the cost of personal expression and emotional honesty. So is this habit good or bad? On one hand, it creates some amazing things. Safe streets, respectful public spaces, low crime, trains where you can sit in silence, a strong sense of responsibility to the group. Many foreigners love this side of Japan. They say, "Why can't my country be this clean, this polite, this organized?" On the other hand, it can also create burnout, emotional distance, fear of expressing yourself, and an intense feeling that you can never fully relax in public. The truth is, this habit is not simply good or bad. It's a cultural survival strategy. It comes from living in dense cities, from history, from a deep value placed on harmony over individuality. It works beautifully when everyone understands the rules. It feels harsh when you're the outsider who doesn't. So what do you do if you're a foreigner living in Japan or planning to move there and you don't want to lose yourself? You don't have to become Japanese, but you do have to understand what's happening around you. First, learn the basic red flags of meiwaku. Being too loud in quiet spaces, blocking paths or doors, ignoring lines and cues, being very late, speaking aggressively in public. Public displays that force everyone else to notice you. Second, choose your battles. You don't need to copy every habit, but you do need to respect the spirit behind them. Maybe on trains, you decide, okay, I'll keep my voice low and use headphones. Maybe at work, you say, I'll help the team when I can, but I'll also set limits when I'm exhausted. Third, watch how locals behave, not just what they say. Notice what they don't do, where they stand, how they apologize, when they lower their voice. You'll start to see patterns. Once you understand the patterns, Japan becomes a lot less confusing. And finally, remember this: Japan is not judging you because you're foreign. Japan is reacting based on a rule that even Japanese people struggle with. They too feel this pressure. They too get tired of always worrying about others. The difference is, they grew up inside the system. You didn't. So let's come back to our question. The one habit many foreigners refuse to accept in Japan is this: constantly shaping your behavior, your words, and even your feelings around not inconveniencing anybody else. For some, this is the price of living in a peaceful, orderly society. For others, it feels like slowly erasing themselves just to fit in. If you moved to Japan, honestly, which side would you fall on? Would you embrace the habit and say, this makes society better, and I'm okay sacrificing a bit of myself? Or would you push back and think, I can respect the culture, but I won't shrink my personality just to make everyone comfortable? I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you've lived in Japan or visited, did you feel this pressure? Did you love the harmony, or did it feel suffocating? And if you've never been, based on what you've heard today, do you think you could live like this long term? Let me know in the comments. I read as many as I can, and your stories might become ideas for future videos. If this video helped you understand Japan a little deeper than the usual anime and sushi image, consider giving it a like so more people can see it. And if you want more honest breakdowns of Japanese culture, everyday life, and the unspoken rules no one explains to you, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.